is maybe the closest we ever come to knowing what exists on the other side. And in a new series called Ghost Stalkers, two men who crossed over investigate the afterlife by exploring places that are rumored to be doorways to another dimension. Joining me now are Chad Lindbergh and John Tenney. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning. Great.
Good morning.
Okay, so now you both have had these, what they call near-death experiences. Tell me about that.
Well, mine actually was a near-death. I was diagnosed with Rye syndrome when I was a kid. Doctors told my parents to say goodbye, that I was going to die within a couple of days. There were a lot of other children who were diagnosed in the hospital with Rye syndrome at the same time. They ended up passing on, and I miraculously survived and lived.
And when I was 17, I had a cardiac arrest, so I flatlined for a couple minutes, and they got me back, obviously. And yeah, the experiences that I took away from that kind of drive me to continue to do what I do now, which is kind of look for answers about the nature of existence and reality and consciousness.
So would you say that those experiences kind of put you in tune with those on the other side? I mean, how do you know you have that gift to see things that the rest of us can't?
I think it definitely had something to do with it. I've always been very passionate about the paranormal and what happens after we die, but I'm also learning more than ever, like right now, I'm a conduit for so many weird, odd things that happen when we go into these locations. I'll walk in and literally ghosts will just start talking to me, and it's quite frightening.
I can imagine. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and there's someone standing there and you're like, whoa, I'm trying to get my sleep?
Not yet. Not yet. Not that I can see, but I know that they're there.
Oh, goodness. That sounds so spooky. Well, John, tell me a little bit about Ghost Stalkers.
Yeah, so there's a lot of paranormal shows on television, but Chad and I are doing something a little bit different, a lot different actually, I think. We go in and we investigate by ourselves. There's no camera crew, no sound people. I go in for one night by myself. Chad goes in for one night by himself. It's very raw, it's very real. We allow people to see us, you know, go through the mental process of what it's like to... I've spent my whole life staying out of prison. And, you know, so to even put yourself in a situation where you're going and putting yourself in a prison, you know, where horrible things have obviously happened from people who are horrible, and we allow people to see the psychological processes, aside from the spooky stuff that happens.
Okay, so I know there are going to be skeptics out there. I'm not one of them. I do believe that there are things out there and that maybe I've seen one or two. So you're not talking to me, but talk to your skeptics about, well, hey, you're in these places, you're by yourself. How much of it is just mental?
Well, I'll tell you what, you know, I'm a skeptical person. I have nothing wrong with skepticism. I think it's great. It promotes conversations about this. But one of the things is Chad and I are doing something that science refuses to do, which is we're investigating, you know, allegedly paranormal phenomenon. Science will tell you that it's not real, but science refuses to study it. So it's left to people like Chad and I to do things like what people will see on Ghost Stalkers.
Actually go into a haunted location. If you're a skeptic, well then you have to go and try it out for yourself. You can't be a skeptic and not actually try to go and experience it, because once you do, your mind will change, especially if you go in alone.
And I know you guys are really delving into this and trying to make it different than some of the other paranormal shows. For example, you're showing is it a Tennessee mansion that no one's been in before to do one of these type shows?
Yeah, all of the locations that people will see in our the first episodes have never been seen on television before. People have investigated them privately, but these are all new locations that people have never seen before on television.
Great. And just based on you guys' experience, tell me a little bit about what advice you would give to people who may have the gift to see things on the other side.
Embrace it. Embrace it, because it is a gift. There is nothing like being in a location and walking around a corner and hearing a woman laugh in your face, go, oh, and she's not actually standing there. It's absolutely terrifying, but I tell you what, there's nothing like it. There's no rush like it on Earth, and if you can go and try to experience that, you should.
Well, listen, when you guys come down to Texas, y'all can come on over to my house because you may find some new friends. I'm just saying, I've heard some things.
That sounds good.
Well, good luck, you guys.
Tell them we said hi.
Oh, for sure. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
you too.
All right, well, Ghost Stalkers premieres on Destination America this Sunday. I will be tuning in. All right, more broadcasts coming up after this.